Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm the producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me is our host, Logan Landers. How's it going, Logan? Yeah. So, got me and Mr. Logan Landers in here today. How's it going, bro?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jeremiah. Living my best life right now. Some good weather outside. Just had a nice breakfast, so I'm doing pretty good.
Absolutely. So today we are talking about the voice of the Gamecocks himself, Todd Ellis, also a classic South Carolina player as quarterback. So, Logan, tell us more about Mr. Todd Ellis.
All right, let's talk about Mr. Todd Ellis, as you'd like to say. So he was the South Carolina quarterback from 1986 through 1989. During his time there, he played in 2 bowl games for the Gamecocks, in the 87 Gator Bowl versus the LSU Tigers, and versus in 1988 in the Liberty Bowl versus Indiana. Now, at the time, South Carolina was an independent school, so that was pretty impressive for their time being. As we all know now, they're in the SEC, but at the time, they were their own school as an independent, like Notre Dame is now. And, on our next slide, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Mr. Ellis and his time for the Gamecocks. In his career there, he threw for 9,953 passing yards, 49 touchdowns. He threw for over 3,000 yards twice during his tenure for the Gamecocks. And, whenever I was looking at his stats, one of the most impressive things that I saw was he threw for 432 pass attempts in 1987. And, man, you look at it now and you think, man, 437, that's not that much for most quarterbacks nowadays. But, man, back in the 80s, man, that is like Joe Burrow type numbers of pass attempts for college quarterback for sure. Because, back then the running game was more prominent for a lot of teams. But, as we know how, football's evolved over the years, that passing's become more and more of the more, just favorite for coaches to just throw the ball everywhere. But, yeah, Todd Ellis was just throwing the ball every which way, left, right, up and down. And, after those great seasons with the Gamecocks, he was able to be drafted by the Denver Broncos in the 1990 draft. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to play any games for them, but, hey, he did get drafted, so that's a very good accomplishment in of itself. He also played a little bit for the Sacramento Surge for the WLAF for a little bit, and he's mostly known for being the voice of the Gamecocks, as Jeremiah said. He does the radio broadcast, and he's been doing that for a while now, and everyone – If you're a South Carolina Gamecock fan, you know about Todd Ellis, whether it's his, outstanding play he had back in the 80s and early 90s, or if, just being the voice of the Gamecocks, calling the games every week. Had a solid career, I would say. Todd Ellis is one of those players where, if you look at, there's a lot of quarterbacks, really good college quarterbacks who don't get drafted or don't play long in the NFL. But, they have a really good, solid career in college. And I think Todd Ellis fits that mold for sure. Really good career. Like I said, back in the day. Fortunately, wasn't able to play any. But, overall, very solid quarterback. Just like we say almost every week on here, we do one of these kind of history specials.
Right.
We always find these guys that, we might not know that much about. We do some research on them. You're like, man, they're really impressive. And, that's my takeaway that I got from the voice of the Gamecocks with Todd Ellis.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I do. That is one of the things that I think we talk about every week, but it's so true. Sometimes there's some great people that maybe you have a familiarity with, like, Todd Ellis, voice of the Gamecocks, that you're thinking, he sure knows a lot about football and he does a great job. But did you know that he actually was a great player himself? Exactly. He knows the game from on both sides. And he's not just a big fan. He's actually, one of the legends of sports in general, but of the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Right.
So, yeah, that's great. So thank you so much for that. And for everybody watching, we are 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio. We come to you live every single week with more videos about football. A lot of times we do history videos. We do stats videos. We do videos about the upcoming teams. And something you can always rely on us is our team, which is Logan Landers, plus our other team, part of our team with our other host, Vincent Turner, plus our insiders we bring in every week, Bobby Butler, who was the first-round draft pick in 1981 for the Atlanta Falcons, and our coaching expert, Coach Kevin the Bull Jones. So any videos, especially history videos, that you would like to see, please drop in the comments and let us know, and we'll keep coming to you every week live. Until then, I'll see you again. Bye, guys.